Let's talk New York Mets baseball. Yesterday was a rough day for the Metropolitans. Well, sort of a rough day. They at least put up a good amount of runs yesterday. They ended up losing this game yesterday 10-7. It was a great game. It was a roller coaster ride. Nothing to really complain about offensively. The only complaint that I would have is the pitching. It's time to just go ahead and place this blame, if we have to place it on anything as far as these losses are concerned, on just the pitching staff as of right now. There was a little stretch of time there where offensively and with the pitching, we were having a problem on both sides of the ball. Defensively, a little bit of issues, but as of right now, it's basically just a pitching issue. It seems like every other start we're having trouble with the pitching, and it goes for the starters and it also goes for the relief and closers sometimes. Robertson, he does a phenomenal job. Can't really take anything from him. He has a little bit of rough patches here and there, but our main pitching staff, man, our main pitching core, our starters, they just don't seem to be consistent at all. They'll have a really good start and then fall right back off again. Really good start and then start giving up home runs again. We see it with Kodai Senga. We've seen it with Scherzer. Now we're seeing it with Verlander. It just seems to be a reoccurring thing. Verlander got off to a decent start in the first inning, but by the third inning, if I remember correctly, it was probably already at least 5-1, 5-0, or 6-1 by the end of the third, bottom of the third. He was just getting absolutely hammered repeatedly. Those guys, those Colorado Rockies, were not afraid of Verlander at all, and it showed. He went 5 innings. He had 9 hits, gave up 6 earned runs. Had one walk with 2 strikeouts. His ERA is now 4.80. Just a rough game for him. Another rough start. His last start was another rough one as well. But you really just cannot blame the offense anymore. The offense has been getting it done. Last 3 games, we're talking about 22 runs that have been put on the board, and the pitching is just not there to hold the opposition and to give the offense, kind of the cushion that it needs to stay relaxed and be able to get in there and do what they need to do to win these games. Offensively, like I said, nothing to really complain about. These guys are getting it done offensively. The young guys, the young Mets, they're doing their part. We saw Alvarez there in the 6th inning. He sent a 3-run shot over the wall to tie up the game. Vientos is in there at designated hitter. Thankfully, he's in there at designated hitter. Vogelback is doing absolutely nothing. Vientos' first time in there at DH in a while. He goes 2 for 4. He goes 2 for 4 with a run. I mean, the proof is right there in the pudding. Beatty, he's still putting wood on the ball. He had him a hit last night with an RBI. Alonso, he had him a home run. Lindor was pretty much quiet. He was 0 for 5. Seems like he's back to his own soul self again. I thought that first game of that series would kind of wake him up a little bit after having such a great game, but that does not seem to be the case. He went quiet again last night, and that doesn't help. That doesn't help at all. If you ask me, I don't see why Mauricio isn't up. There's no backup there at the shortstop position for Lindor. Lindor has started every single game. I think, what is this, 52, 53 games into the season. Why not get him somebody up here that has, that could be a backup for him? Everybody keeps saying that Mauricio doesn't have a spot because shortstop is taken. What's wrong with Lindor sitting for a night or two, getting a break? You know, bring up Mauricio. That's what I want to see. But back to this game. Exciting game. It was back and forth. I thought it was pretty much over with from the beginning when we were down 5-0, but those boys fought back hard, and the charge was led by the young guys as usual. Alonso did his part and helped out like he always does. But I'm just, really proud of the young guys who are really getting in there and showing some spirit and doing what it seems like these older veterans are not willing or capable of doing. But kudos to them. Offensively, like, we're fine. It's definitely the pitching. Brigham got in there. I don't know what was going on with him last night. He looked really out of whack. He's screaming out there on the mound. He's shaking his head back and forth, stomping, kicking through the grass. He was having he pitched 1 inning and it was rough for him. He had 2 hits, gave up a home run, 2-run shot. He did have 2 strikeouts. His ERA is 3.63. But it's really the pitching now these days that we have to point the finger at. And hopefully we can get that turned around. Verlander, he seems to accept that he needs to, kind of pick it up a little bit. And hopefully he does, because I hate to see these guys keep continuing in this fashion. They are now 27 and 26 as of right now. They are still in second place in the NL East. They are 4.5 games, 4.5 games behind the Braves. The Braves did lose a close one last night, so we're still kind of in the mix there in the NL East. But it's really close with the Marlins. The Marlins are, right there, neck and neck with us. The Marlins are 27 and 26 as well, and they seem to be playing well. And who knows where it's going to go, but it's definitely the pitching. As far as ERA is concerned, we're 24th in the league, 23rd in the league in WHIP. As far as walks, we're 25th in the league, and it's definitely a pitching problem as of right now. Hopefully we can get that figured out and get that turned around. If we do, I think it'll make a really big difference for this team. They've got a lot of potential, and they have the ability to make it into the postseason, I believe, and do really well and go as far as they possibly can. We'll see what happens, but that's it for now. Got a game today. I believe that one today is at what time? 3 o'clock, 3:10 p.m. today. This will be the final game in Colorado. It is going to be a rubber game. The series is tied 1-1. And hopefully these Mets can go ahead and take this series. I'd love to see it before we head home and see the Phillies. That's it for now, guys. I really appreciate it. Let's go Mets.